Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Hoagland, and I'm the COO here at nextmv. So nextmv, we help you automate and optimize your operations. We have two core products. One is an optimization or a solver, and one is a simulation tool. And the reason we got started is because we have a ton of background in all of these different areas, and we wanted to make sure that in the new world, we can make your models repeatable, testable, and interpretable, which is rather difficult in today's environment. And we know this because we've worked at Lockheed Martin. Our CEO was there doing ballistic missile simulation. We know this because our CTO has his PhD in operations research. And they actually both found themselves at a startup in Philadelphia called Zoomer that got acquired by Grubhub. And when they went to Grubhub, they were tasked with building out the decision engineering team, which involved all things optimization and simulation. So real-time delivery, routing, ETAs, assignments, scheduling, the whole nine yards. And while they were there, they learned a lot of things. But first and foremost, they learned that models should be easy to develop and build, simple for analysts to use, modify, and understand. They should be lightning fast. They should be versioned just like your code base, and they should be able to integrate with your modern serverless environments. Well, what they obviously figured out was that's not the case. And there's kind of two core issues. So number one, you could pay for something in the market. There's a lot of what they're called legacy commercial solvers, and they're very expensive, they're hard to use, they're black boxes, and they're built for operations research PhDs, which if you're a CTO, you can get away with. But if you're anybody else, it can be very difficult to use. And of course, they're not built for those serverless environments that we talked about. So some big challenges. We also learned that homegrown solutions could actually be even harder. It's very expensive to hire these teams. It requires a slew of engineers and data scientists, and it requires an outsized effort to get everything started, not to mention the expertise. If you have any issues with churn on your team, you name it. It doesn't provide a flexible sandbox. It's hard to iterate, and it relies on a static set of historical data slices. So a lot of challenges. So with all this in mind, we decided to build nextmv, and more specifically HOP. HOP is our optimization solver. So what is our vision for HOP? It's very simple. We want to empower developers to automate an organization. And we don't just mean in some of the traditional traveling salesman problems or last mile delivery. There is an endless amount of things that should be automated and optimized within an organization. And HOP provides the tool set to do that without needing some of those traditional solvers or in-house solutions. So how does it help? Well, first and foremost, we are a developer tool. And so we want to make it as simple as possible to A, put that automation in place quickly, B, iterate on it because your requirements will constantly be changing, and C, make it very easy to analyze the performance and the results so you know if it's working, when to change, and what to do next. So we are a little unique. As far as we know, we're the only solver in the market that's built on something called decision diagram. Now, we could spend a whole presentation talking about what that is and why it's important, but essentially we found it to be the optimal performance for optimal performance and speed, which is why we chose it. We also have a very specific skill set and background in decision diagramming. And this allowed us to make things very simple. For example, our models compile down to binaries, everything's built in Go, it's JSON in, JSON out. We are definitely not a black box, in fact, quite the opposite. We're incredibly flexible and customizable. We're source available. We run in your own environments. And of course, it's really easy to integrate with different mapping tools and BI tools. Our goal, right, was to shorten the path from what if we wanted to solve this problem to putting it into production in the shortest amount of time. We have a really strong set of customers thus far, enterprise customers like GoPuff, Rappi, and Via, and we have incredibly strong investors such as YC, Firstmark, 2048, and Dynamo. We would love to talk to anyone who's interested about some of the different industries and use cases that we've found successful thus far. On-demand delivery and distribution are huge. E-commerce, scheduling, and cloud infrastructure are just a few that come to mind. But the concept of automating and optimizing within your organization can obviously be very wide and very broad. And we'd love to discuss the different potentials with you. Thanks everyone so much for your time, and we look forward to having a conversation with you. Okay, here we're going.